is up, guys? Welcome back to another fingerstyle tutorial. Today we're taking a look at my arrangement of Cardigan by Taylor Swift. That was just a few sections of the song put together, but if you do want to see the full version, click the link above or down in the description. Now this song is in standard tuning, but it is quite difficult to play, so this is going to be an intermediate tutorial. But if you're ready, let's get started. Alright guys, so you should be in standard tuning. You're going to need a capo on the first fret. I'll put the tab along the bottom for you. I'll refer to this as the first string and this as the sixth string. Alright, we've got a lot to learn in this tutorial. We've got a couple of verses, a chorus, bridge, refrain, instrumental break. So there is quite a lot, but I'll try and break it down as much as possible for you. So I'll be playing it in sets of 4 bars. So we're going to be looking at verse 1 first. And this is the first 4 bars of verse 1. Okay, so we're starting up here. This is like an E minor shape, but we're not using that finger, so we just take that off. Basically, I'm barring the 7th fret here. Apart from this top 6th string, we're leaving open, but I'm barring the rest of the strings. And then on the 9th fret, I'm holding down strings 3 and 4. So it shows along like that. So to get us into that first bar, we're playing a few notes here, like that. All that's going to be is the 2nd string, which is on the 7th fret, 3rd string, which is on the 9th fret. Then we're taking this finger off, so that 9th fret is now barred on the 7th fret. And we're going to play that 3rd string again. This is going to be a hammer-on, so we're going to hammer on, and as we land the hammer-on, we're going to play the bass note of the first bar of the first verse, which is going to be that 5th string, 7th fret. Okay, so I'll just play that first bar again for you. Okay, so we're staying in this shape before moving down here. So as you land that hammer on and you've played that bass note, we're then going to hit strings 4 followed by 3. Then we're on the 2nd beat now, so we've got a slap coming in. So we're doing the slaps on the 2nd and the 4th beat of each bar. That's going to be with like the heel of your hand and your thumb, just gently on the 6th string. And as you come down for that slap, you also want to curl your hand up and hit the 2nd string on the 7th fret, because that's going to get our melody notes. So like that, so you should hear the slap and the melody at the same time. So once you've got that, you're going to hit that 2nd string one more time, like that. Then we're taking this finger off again. This time we're moving it down to here on the 10th fret, 2nd string, and you're going to play strings 2 and 3 together. So far. From there, we're halfway through the bar now. We're going to hit that bass note again. And then once again, strings 4 and 3. This time, we're on the 9th fret still, but now we're on the 7th fret here. So it's going to sound slightly different. Then we're doing the slap again, since we're on the 4th beat. And we're going to hit strings 2 and 3 at the same time. So you don't have to be ultra precise, but you want to try and make sure you get those 2 notes in there. Then you're going to hit the 1st string for that melody, and at this point we're moving down now. So we're moving down to an A chord here. So I bar the top 4 strings, like that, and then I add my 4th finger up here on the 2nd string, 5th fret. That's going to be where our melody is going to be. Okay, so once you move down there and you're making that shape, we're not quite in the 2nd bar yet, so we're not playing the bass note yet. We are going to play the strings 2, 3, and 4 together though. Okay, so that's the first bar. I'll play it slowly for you. Okay, the next bar. Okay, so once you've got into this shape and you've played those notes, we're going to hit the bass note, followed by the 4th string, which is on the 2nd fret. Then you can take the finger off for now, and we're going to hit the 1st and 2nd strings on the 2nd fret. So they should be barred here. Then add your 4th finger back on, but this time on the 1st string, on the 5th fret. And you're going to hit strings 1 and 2 again. At this point, we're halfway through the bar now, so hit that bass note again. Followed by 4, 3, which are both on the 2nd fret. Then, 4th beat, we've got a slap, and we're going to hit that 1st string, which is still on the 5th fret. As we hit that, we're going to slide up to the 7th fret. Once you get there, take that hand off and hit the open 1st string. Okay, so that bar slowly. So I'll play those first 2 bars together for you. And the next bar sounds like this. So this is quite a repetitive bar. We're into a G chord here, so I've got the G bass note up here as usual, and I'm also holding a finger down here on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. This is actually going to be my 4th finger that I'm holding down here, so normally if you're playing a G, you would use that finger. But I like to use this one, because for the bar after this one, we're going to be moving up to this shape, and that allows me to not have to move my fingers, because if I use this finger to get into that shape, I would have to move this finger off, put that finger on. But instead, if I just use this one, I can really smoothly just transition up to that chord. So if you can, try and get used to using that finger on the G, on the high G note instead. Okay, so holding that shape, we're going to hit strings 6 for the bass note, 4, 3. Then we have this little melodic pattern here. It's triplets, so you have to pay attention to the rhythm. We're basically doing a pull-off on the 2nd fret of the 1st string to open, and then up to the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And we're going to do that 3 times. But also, on top of that, on the 2nd beat, you've got a slap. On the 3rd beat, you've got the bass note, and I like to do a little finger roll at that point. Like that. And then on the 4th beat, you've got a slap as well. So all together, it sounds like this. So practice that a few times, build it up just like I did, practice that first, and then add in the bass note and the slaps. And you should be able to get it pretty easily. Once you get to the end of that bar, we're going to be sliding up, just like I said before. So take this finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and as you play that one, slide up here to the 7th fret, and we're going to be making this shape. This shape is also an A, but it's just slightly different. We don't play it down here, we play it up here. So we've got open 5th string for the bass note, and then I'm holding down strings 2, 3, and 4. This finger is on the 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, but then my 4th finger is under here, also on the 2nd string, but on the 7th fret. And that's because when we play the bass note here, we're also going to do a pull-off, 7th fret to 5th fret on the 2nd string. Okay, once you get that, we're just going to be waiting until the 2nd beat, and you're going to do a slap and hit the 2nd and 3rd strings. At this point, I just kind of improvised a little run here, just to kind of fill the space between the repetitions. So I'm going to be hitting strings 4, 3, 5 for the bass note, and then 3 again, but I'm going to do a hammer on there, okay? So I'm hammering on to the 7th fret, underneath this finger, and just in front of this finger, so it's fret 6 to 7 on the 3rd string. Then we've got another slap for the 4th beat, and you want to hit that 2nd string that's on the 5th fret there, like that. Then for the last 3 notes, we've got a pull off on the second string, 7 to 5. Then I move that finger under there again and get that 7th fret 3rd string note. Okay, so those are the same notes as those ones because we're getting into a repetition now. So remember at the start, we had those few notes to get us into the first bar. It's the same thing here. Okay, so I'll play those 4 bars. Okay, so those are the first 4 bars of the first verse. Now I'm going to be looking at the next 4 bars. Luckily, they're pretty much the same. So we start to repeat now. This is where it changes. Okay, so we're on the last bar, the 4th bar. So instead of doing this, we're going to be doing this. So you notice the notes are the same, but we're just going to be playing it down here instead of up here, because the next chord we're going to is a D, and it's easier and smoother to transition to that D chord from here rather than up here. Okay, so it starts off the same. We've got that pull off and the slap. But this time, as you do this slap, you want to slide down and mute the strings like that and slide down to the 2nd fret. We're going to an A chord down here, but I don't bother putting that finger on because we don't need it. I just hold down the 2nd and 3rd strings on the 2nd fret. Once you get that, you're going to be hitting strings 3, 2, 5 for the bass note, and then 2 again. This time doing a hammer on with your 4th finger. 2nd string, 2nd fret to 3rd fret. Then we've got this little run to get us into the next section. So it's going to be open first, 2nd fret first, pull off to open, to 2nd string, 3rd fret. That open first is going to be with the slap as well, because it's on the 4th beat. Just like that. You might want to use this finger for the 2nd string 3rd fret note so that you can easily transition to the D chord that we're going to next. Okay, so I'll just play that different bar one more time. Okay, so now we're up to the chorus. So this is another 4 bars. The song kind of picks up a little bit of energy here. So I'll play through the 4 bars for you. Okay, so it's not too bad. 2 of the bars are pretty much identical. The first bar starts on the D chord. I like to do a little finger roll with a hammer on the 1st string, open to 2nd fret there, just to start it off. But it's really quick. And once you get that, you're going to be in a normal D chord, and you're going to hit strings 3, 2, then the melody's coming in, and we're going to do a slap and hit the 1st string twice. The first time with the slap, the 2nd time by itself. Then we're hitting the bass note. You might notice on the tab that this is a little bit early. So in this chorus, we're going to be hitting the bass notes a little bit before the 3rd beat, where we normally hit them. Like there, so in between the 2nd and 3rd beats. So once you hit that bass note, we've got the 1st string one more time, then 2, 3. Then we're on to the 4th beat now, and we're going to be doing a slap, again hitting the 1st string and then hitting the first string 3 more times by itself. Okay, so it's worth noting that this song is in like a kind of triplet rhythm throughout the whole thing. So make sure you listen to the song, listen to the tab, whatever you can do to make sure that you're playing the right rhythm, because the tab has those 4 notes evenly spaced out, but they're not really, because it sounds like that rather than... Okay, so it's a subtle difference that makes the song sound the way it does. So make sure you record yourself and that you're sticking to that rhythm. Okay, so I'll play that bar one more time for you. The next one. This is an A. You might remember this from the verse. So coming into this shape again, that's the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings on 5, 6 and 7. We're going to be hitting strings 1 to 3 and the bass note, open 5th. Play those together. You might notice that these first 2 strings are the same note, but I just like to hit them both for kind of emphasis. I just think it sounds a bit nicer in this situation. So once you hit those 4 strings, you're going to be bringing your finger that's free, the 4th finger, up here, again to the 7th fret on the 3rd string and playing that one. That's the next melody note. Then take that finger back off, and you're going to be hitting strings 2 and 3, which are on frets 5 and 6, 4 times, or 5 times rather. The first time has the slap, like that. Then you've got 1 more time, then with the bass note, then 2 more times. Okay, so far. At that point, you're bringing that finger back under there for that same melody note on the 7th fret. But then you're also playing the one above it, the 4th string, which is also on the 7th fret. So it's important to note that for the melody, you're putting that finger on, but then you're taking it off again, and then putting it back on. For the last beat of this bar, we've got a slap, and a little hammer on and pull off. So we're doing a hammer on, 5 to 7 on the 2nd string, then back off to 5, and then again put that finger up there on the 3rd string, 7th fret for that last melody note. Okay, so I'll play the first 2 bars for you. I'll try and play them slowly. Next one. Okay, so this bar shouldn't be as difficult because it's the same structure as the first bar of the chorus, but it's a G chord instead of a D chord. Okay, so we're starting with the bass note, and then again we've got 2 notes. This time it's going to be the 4th and 3rd strings open. Then we've got the slap with the melody. It's going to be the first 2 strings this time. I'm holding down the 2nd string on the 3rd fret here, and the 1st string is open. So you've got ones with the slap, and then ones by themselves. Then we've got the bass note again, and then same as before, just about, we've got the 1st string open, 2nd string, 4th string. Then again, when we had the D chord, we had this. It's just going to be the same, but this time with the first 2 strings with this G chord. Okay, so you should be able to see from the tab below that the 2 bars in structure are very similar. And then the next bar here is going to be the exact same as the 2nd bar of the chorus. Okay, so that is the whole chorus. I'll play it through one more time for you, just at normal speed. Okay, so we're past the first verse and chorus, and now we're into the refrain part of the song. It sounds like this. The trickiest part, for me anyway, is getting into this chord from the last chord, which was here. So moving from there to there within the time frame can be difficult. So basically here on the 2nd fret I'm barring the first 4 strings, then I have my 2nd finger here on the 2nd string. I've got 2 fingers held down on the 2nd string actually. I've got that one on the 3rd fret and this one on the 5th fret. That's because I'm going to be starting on the 5th fret but then quickly moving to the 3rd fret. So I just take that finger off and I'm there on the 3rd fret already. I've also got my 3rd finger up here on the 3rd string, 4th fret. So once you get that shape, should sound like that, we're going to be hitting strings 2, 3 and 6 together. So you get that really kind of deep chord there. From there we're hitting strings 4 and 3, which are on the 2nd and 4th frets. Then we've got this melody run, and you want to remember this for the next part as well because it repeats. So it's going to be starting on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So that's what I was talking about a minute ago. We're taking that finger off, and then when we do the slap and hit the 2nd string, it's going to be on the 3rd fret for that correct melody note. From there, I like to do a little hammer on here. Take this finger off and then hammer it straight back on. Like that. Then you want to hit that 3rd string again on the 4th fret, and then once again with the bass note. Then take it off so that you're now on the 2nd fret here, so it's barring it now. 2 more times. Then move that finger up 1 string, so it's now on the 4th string, 4th fret. Play that with the slap. Then you can release this whole shape at that point and just play the open 4th string twice. So that melody run. So you might want to practice that just by itself just to get used to it. Practice it while you're in the shape and that will help you. But it is quite difficult, so you will need to kind of get used to playing that. So that bar, I'll just play it again for you. Okay, from there, the next bar should be a little bit easier because we're coming into like an A chord, but the melody is very low at this point. So the melody is here. So I'm not going to be playing these strings below that. I'm just going to be focusing on that string and the bass note. So we're starting off just holding down the 4th string, 2nd fret, and playing it with the open 5th string bass note. And we're going to be doing a slide here, up to the 4th fret and back, in line with the rhythm of the song. Then we've got the slap by itself, and then same again, we've just got the melody line with the bass note in the middle. So we've got the 2nd fret, 4th string twice, then moving up, or playing it again with the bass note and then moving up, and then back down. So if you've not done slides, that might take a while to get used to, but it's quite easy once you do. And then we're coming in for a repeat now. So we're going to do another little run here. We've done this one before, so you should be kind of used to it or familiar with it at least. It's on the 2nd string first of all, hammering on open to the 3rd fret, and then open 1st. Alright, so those first 2 bars. For the next bar, we are kind of repeating the melody, but the chord has changed now. So instead of this chord that we had before, we're changing it to a G kind of chord. We also want to complete this run, because because it doesn't end there, we've also got this note at the end. And that's at the start of the next bar. So to start the next bar, we're going to play that melody note with that bass note. Then we're getting back into that same melody. So once you're here, you want to add your finger up under here so that you can get that 3rd fret 2nd string melody note. So first of all, play that 2nd string with the open 3rd string. Then on the 2nd beat, you're just repeating what you were playing before, but instead of playing the open 6th string, we're going to be playing the 3rd fret 6th string. Okay, and then the next bar sounds like this. This is not too bad. We just finish off the melody and then we do a little familiar part that we learnt before to get back into the verse. So to finish the melody, we're just going to do a slide from the 4th fret, 4th string, to the 2nd fret, 4th string, along with the bass note, which is back to open 5th string. Then we've got a slap, and we're coming back up here to this A shape that we had before, and we're just going to do that same run that we had. Okay, so that's 4, 3, 5, 3 again with that hammer on, 6 to 7, slap, hitting the 2nd string, and then the pull off, 7 to 5, and then up 1 string to the 3rd string, 7th fret. We have played that before, so that's just a reminder. But if you need it more in depth, you can rewind the video and have a look at it. So that's the end of the refrain section. I'll just play through it one more time for you. One quick thing to note here is, I said it was tricky to get into this chord. So if we just practice that from the end of the chorus. Okay, so that can take a lot of practice. To make it a little easier, you could probably get away with not playing that note there. That would give you twice as much time to get there. So you would just go like this. Okay, so that's instead of going, we just miss out that last note there, and it gives you a little bit more time to get there. Okay, so after that refrain, you're playing the verse and the chorus again, which is identical, but then we get into another refrain and the chords are different, so the melody is the same. I'll play it through for you. Okay, so there's a few differences. Mainly we're starting off in a G chord this time instead. Before we were starting off in this chord, if you remember. Now it's a G. So we have played this melody with the G before, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to pick it up. We're starting off in a regular shape, so we're just the G chord, G bass note is here, and then we've got a melody note here on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So we're going to be hitting strings 1, 2, and 6 first of all, then 4, and then just following that same melody that we learned before. From there, we're going to a B minor. So we've got a B minor bass note here, 5th string, 2nd fret. This is pretty much the same as when we did this. But because we need to hold this bass note down, it's not ideal to do the slides, because then that would distort the bass note and it would just sound pretty bad. So instead, I'll do a little pull off there and a hammer on, And at that point I just play all the notes. So I've got, and then again just playing that run, but instead of going to the G that we had before, we're going to D now. So it can be tricky to remember all the chords you're going to do, but if you do it enough times you'll be alright. So going to this G, starting with that melody, we've got the first 2 strings and the bass note, then 2 and 3 together, and then again just playing that same melody with the D instead of the G or the B minor or whatever other chord you're doing it with. So we're using this open 4th bass note. This one's a little bit difficult because it's all quite close together. But at the end of that bar, we're going back to a G. So G bass note, and then we're finishing off the melody, which you remember is 4th string, 4th fret. So play that along with the bass note. Then take your finger off there and put your finger on here, the 4th string, 2nd fret, and play that. Okay, so after that, we've got a slap, and then we're doing this little, it's this little pattern on that G chord. So we've got strings 4, 3, 6, 3 with a hammer on to the 2nd fret, slap, and then we've got a little run here again. We've done this one before. It's just the 2nd string, 0 to the 3rd fret, and then 1st string open. And then at the start of the next bar it's resolved here on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So I'll play through this 2nd refrain for you. It's like an alternate refrain, same melody, just different chords. Alright, so just before starting the bridge, we have this little instrumental break section. It goes something like this. Okay, so it's just another 4 bars with 4 different chords, and the melody kind of repeats. So we're starting off at the end of the 2nd refrain. We've just done that, and then we're coming into a G chord. So we've got that bass note along with the last melody note of that run. From there, we're going to be hitting open 2nd string and then open 4th string. That open 4th string is going to repeat in between each melody note. So after you hit it, sliding up to the 7th fret. So playing that 7th fret note on the 1st string, and then the open 4th again, down to the 5th, open 4th again, 3rd, and this time open 3rd, and then starting that run again. Then we're up to this chord now. So get into this shape as quickly as you can. Bar the 7th fret and then hold the 9th fret on the 4th string. Okay, so it's largely the same structure, just with different chords. So we're hitting the 2nd string and the 5th string together first, then 4, 3, then we've got that same melody, but instead of going, we're gonna go, so we're going to keep it up here. So you've got the 7th fret 1st string, and then our repeating note here is going to be the 9th fret 4th string one we're holding down. So you want to get onto the 10th fret 2nd string after that, then hit the 4th string again, and then take this finger that's free and go down onto the 8th fret of the 2nd string and take that finger off the 10th fret. Then hit the 3rd string, which is on the 7th fret. As you hit that one, move down here and do that run again, the hammer on and then the open first. Okay, so I'll just quickly play those first 2 bars so that you know where we're up to. For the next chord in this little section, it's an A chord. Again, similar kind of structure. We've got a little pull off this time, so A chord that we've had quite a few times before, and we're just going to do a pull off on the 2nd string, 7/5, and then again repeating that melody in there. So you want to hit the 4th string, followed by 7th fret first, 4th string, and then you want to flatten that finger so that it's barring the first 2 strings. Take this finger off, and now you can hit that 1st string again on the 5th fret this time. And then the 4th string, and then move this free finger up to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So that's going to be the same as hitting the 3rd fret on the 1st string. We're just going to do it up here instead. Once you get that, hit the 3rd string, and then instead of doing this pattern, we're going to do like almost the opposite. It's a pull off on the 2nd fret, 1st string, and then to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Okay, so those 3 bars, they all have the same kind of structure, just with different notes really. And for the last bar, okay, so we've just done that pull off, and then we're going to resolve that here, like that, and then open 4th, and then open 3rd. That's all in a G chord, so I'm just holding down the G bass note, and I'm playing that along with open 2nd, open 4th, open 3rd. And then again, on the 3rd beat, we've got the bass note. Now we're getting into the bridge section, so this is going to start the bridge just before the official kind of 1st bar of the bridge. We're just going to play that melody. So add your 1st finger onto the 2nd fret of the 1st string, play the open 2nd, and then do a slap and hit that 1st string, and then play the open 2nd 2 more times. Like that. Okay, so I'll just play this instrumental one more time for you, slowly. Okay, so after that instrumental break, we're getting into the bridge, like this. Okay, so this part isn't too bad. We're starting off in this G chord, just with this high note held down here on the 1st string, 2nd fret. And we're basically just going to be hitting 6, 4, slap, and try and hit the first 3 strings, and then the open 2nd string twice. Then 6 again, 4, 2, and then 2 again with the slap. At this point, we're starting to kind of change chords a little bit early, so we're not quite in the 2nd bar yet, but we're getting there. So you want to hit this 3rd string, 2nd fret note, and then transition to a B minor chord and play the first 3 strings. Okay, so it sounds like this. Next, we're into the new bar, so we're going to hit that bass note first of all. So this is a similar kind of thing. We played that B minor chord for this bar, but then just before the end, we switched to an A chord. So coming in from the end of the 1st bar, we're going to hit the bass note, and then the 4th string. Then you want to kind of lift this hand up so that you release the 1st string, so that you can play open 1st with the slap, and then the 2nd string, which is still on the 3rd fret here. Then waiting for the 3rd beat to come in, we're going to hit the bass note again, followed by 4, 3. Now we're starting to transition again. So at this point, I just release these fingers and I move this finger down so that I'm now barring the high 4 strings and leaving the 5th string open. I'm going to do a slap and hit the 1st string, which should be barred on the 2nd fret, and then play the 3rd string twice, which is also on the 2nd fret. So now we're into an A shape. So I'll play the next bar. This one is quite easy because you don't need to move this hand at all. We're just going to play the bass note followed by 4, 3, slap and 1, and then 3, 3. Then we're halfway through. We're going to hit 5 for the bass note again, 4, 3, slap 3, and then 3 again. So I'll play that slowly for you. So that bar is more about the rhythm rather than, moving this hand into different shapes. Okay, so I'll just play those 3 bars for you just before we do the last bar. The last bar is a G again. This time we're starting off in this chord. We just basically take that normal G that we have for this song, but then we add our 1st finger onto the 1st string, 2nd fret. And you want to hit strings 1, 2, 3, and 6. Followed by 4, 3, and then the slap, and 6, 1, 4, 2. Okay, so that's just a little wind down for the bridge. Sounds like that. Then we've got another slap. And we're doing that transition there we've done before. It's the 1st string, 2nd fret pull off, up to the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And we're back into the chorus. So I'll just play through the bridge one more time for you, the whole thing. Okay, so this next chorus is actually extended, so it's a little bit longer than the other choruses, so I'll teach you the extension to the chorus. So we get to the end of the chorus just like normal. At that point, we would normally go into the refrain, but we're not going to do that this time. Instead, we're going to go back to a D chord, and we're going to play this. So this is just to get us into the 3rd verse, which is totally different to the other ones. So we're going back to into that D chord, and we're just going to hit the bass note, followed by 3, 2, the open 1st twice with the slap, and then 3, and then add that finger on there and play the 1st string, 2nd fret. And then we've got the bass note halfway through, followed by 3, 2, and then a series of open 1sts again, like that, with the slap. Then just release that hand, and we're playing an A chord, but I only play the bass note and the melody here, so I just take my hand off. I'm going to start by playing the open 1st and 5th strings together. Putting my 1st finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string. Then we've got the slap and hit the 2nd string. Then play the 2nd string again, this time doing a hammer on to the 3rd fret. Then same again, just open 1st and 5th. onto the 2nd fret first, and then on the last slap, you do a little hammer on there on the 2nd string, open to 3rd fret. Okay, so that bar is quite easy to play really. It just sounds like that. Then, familiar part here, we're just doing, it's like the end of the verse, this part. Now here, we would normally do like a hammer on here, so it would be like this. If you remember that. But instead, we're going to be doing this to get us into the 3rd verse. Okay, so it starts off the same, pull off there, slap, 4, 3, but this time we're doing 5, 4, 3, 4. Like that. Then we've got the last slap, and we're going to hit that open 1st string 3 times, which will take us into the 3rd verse. So I'll just play through that alternate chorus. I'll just play it from the start so you can see how the whole thing transitions. Okay, so this verse 3 is totally different, as I said. It's quite long as well, so I'll split it into a few different sections for you. The first 4 bars are like this. Okay, so it's got a lot of repetition in it. It's a similar kind of idea. We're just playing the same melody but over different chords. So the melody, first of all, is this. Okay, so that's the repeating melody. The first chord is a D, so get into a D chord, but take your 2nd finger off the 1st string. So it's just those 2 fingers held down. Hit the bass note, and then we've got the first part of the melody, the pull off on the 3rd string, 3rd fret to open. Then 2 more notes here. It's going to be the 3rd string twice on the 2nd fret. So it sounds like that. We've also got the slap there on the 2nd instance of that note there. Then open 1st twice. Then a recurring pattern here is we're going to hit the bass note now, and then 2 more notes in that chord. So we've got a D, so we're going to hit strings 3 and 2, which are on the 2nd and 3rd frets. And then to get us into the repetition, we're playing those 3 open 1st notes again. Like that. Okay, so we've got the bass note, melody, bass note again, 2 more notes in the chord, and then repeat. So for the next bar, we're changing to an A chord. So A bass note, same melody, bass note again. Now 2 more notes in the chord, but instead of these ones for the D, we're going to move to these ones for the A. So it's still strings 3 and 2, but this time we're on the 2nd fret. And then again, just the open 1st string 3 times. Okay, so it should be hopefully easy once you pick up 1 bar to pick up the other 2. For the last one that repeats, we've got a G chord. So we're going to hit the G bass note first of all. Same melody. Bass note again. And then 2 notes in the chord. For this one, we're just going to keep that finger held there and just hit open 4th, 2nd fret 3rd. And then, slightly different, we're going to hit the open first twice, but then a little bit higher, 3rd fret on the 1st string. So I'll play those 3 bars for you slowly. Okay, the last bar. We're into an A here, so we're doing an A, open 5th string bass note, then pull off on the 2nd fret, so we were on the 3rd fret, now move down and pull off on the 2nd fret to open, up to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, play that one, and then play it again with a slap, and slide up to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Once you get to that 5th fret, play it again, and then we're going to repeat the last 4 bars. So we get into the repetition in the same way that we got into it in the first place. So we've got bass note, and then 4, 3, 4, and then the slap with the open 1st string 3 times. So I'll play the complete 4 bars for you. One quick note here is when I play the G chord, and right at the end of that bar, and I play that high note on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, I use my 2nd finger for that, because that makes it a little bit easier to use my 1st finger to do the pull off on the 2nd fret to open. Okay, so now we're just going to repeat those last 4 bars again, but the last bar is slightly different. So it just starts off on that repetition. At this point it changes slightly, because instead of playing that just to get into the 2nd time playing through it, we're going to do this instead. Okay, so all we're doing after that slide up to the 5th fret, we're making this full kind of A shape that we've done a few times so far, and you're going to hit strings 2 and 3, that's on the 5th and 6th fret, followed by the bass note, and then you're going to hit those 2 strings 6 more times in the rhythm of the melody, like that, and we've got the slap in there as well. But that is the only difference in this repetition, so it should be straightforward for you. Alright, so we're on to the last new part of the song to learn. This is the end of the 3rd verse. It sounds like this. Okay, so we're starting off with a open 6th string bass note. So we just played this part. Straight into that open 6th bass note, then release that chord and use your 3rd finger to rest on the 7th fret for harmonics. So hopefully you've played harmonics before, and it's just going to be resting on that 7th fret and playing the 3rd and 2nd strings, and then releasing. Then we've got a slap. This is another section that kind of repeats its structure. So the structure here is slap, bass note, and then 2 sets of notes. And the 2 sets of notes here are a hammer-on, open 5th to 2nd, open 4th to 2nd. And then we're going to do a slap and hit the open 1st, and then 2 more times. Okay, similar structure for the 2nd bar here. We're going to do an A chord, so we've got open 5th bass note, and then instead of doing the harmonics, we're just going to play the notes, which are going to be on the 3rd fret 2nd string and 1st string 2nd fret. So play those 2, and then we've got the same structure, so slap, bass note, 2 sets of notes, which are going to be the 3rd and 2nd strings on the 2nd fret, and then a hammer-on, 2nd string, 2nd fret to 3rd fret. And then the same slap, open 1st string, and then 1st string 2 more times. Again, same structure for this bar. We've got the G bass note this time, so we're in a G. Same 2 melody notes that we played in the last bar. And then slap, bass note, and then 2 more sets of notes. The first one being a hammer-on the 4th fret, 4th string, sorry, open to 2nd, and then 3rd string, open to 2nd, and then the 3 open 1st strings. Okay, so I'll play those 3 bars for you. Hopefully you see how they're all kind of connected and linked together in a similar kind of way. For the last bar here, it's kind of different. It goes like this. Okay, so this is just to wind down the 3rd verse, and we're going to play the open 5th string bass note, followed by a pull off on the 2nd string, 3rd fret to 2nd fret. As you land that, you've got the slap, take that finger off, open 2nd, and then up to the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then bass note again at that midway point of the bar. For the end of the song, we're just going to slap and then play that little run there. So we've got hammer-on. We've played this before quite a lot now. It's just 2nd string, hammer-on, open to 3rd, and then open 1st. Get into this shape here, so G with this added note on the 1st string, 2nd fret. Play those 2 together, followed by open 2nd. At this point, we're just repeating the refrain part, but this time you want to slow it down towards the end. So it sounds like this. So you should remember that, and then we're back to this D chord. Slow it down, and then end on that G, just playing those notes. You might want to take out the slaps on this part just so that it's kind of more subdued. But that's up to you. That is the end of the song. So good job if you made it this far. Leave a comment below if you did. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like and hit subscribe. You can also join my new Discord server, link for that is below, and I'll see you in the next video.